Hey everyone, Emmy here, also known as eightvinyllow, bringing all of you another video. Just got home from work teaching the youth of America, and of course the big news today is that the Record Store Day Black Friday 2025 list has officially dropped. I couldn't wait to sit down and go through it with all of you, and so I figured that I'd jump right in to sort of share my first impressions and initial thoughts on some of the possible pickups that are already sort of catching my eye here. So for anyone sort of new to this, Record Store Day happens twice a year. You have the big one in April, and then you have this Black Friday edition, which has sort of become its own like special tradition in its own right. And I've always loved both equally. I'm a huge fan of Record Store Day. That's no surprise. I talk about it all the time on the channel when the dates come up. I am a loyal Record Store Day attender, whether it's the main Record Store Day event or the Black Friday one. I'm all in on this stuff. So it's one of those days that feels like the perfect holiday for us record nerds and music nerds, record collectors. So there's always just some excitement finding something rare, exclusive, or something you've been eyeing, or something that you didn't even know that you wanted until the day. And so it's just a lot of fun. I love the line. I love getting up early because I'm weird like that. I love grabbing food at whatever it is. I'm all in on Record Store Day. I love meeting people, talking to other music nerds about so many different genres and bands and artists. And I get it. I get worked up and excited over this stuff. So tonight I figured what we do is that I would just go through the newly dropped list. We can go through it and I'll give you my initial thoughts and we'll see what stands out as a potential must-have for me this year. Again, what's really cool about Record Store Day is that they cover kind of all the bases and hit different genres and bands and artists that really can bring anybody in. So it's not exclusively one thing or the other. Everybody can find at least something for Record Store Day. Even if you don't go out and do it, there's probably at least one thing that you're like, hey, I'm not going to get that, but that's pretty cool. So, but there's a few things that I definitely want to pick up. So I'm really excited to dive into this. I will be honest, I sort of cheated when this was first dropped earlier in the day, and I went through it once, and I saw a couple of things that immediately caught my eye, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that. But this is really going to be my first time. I was at work, so this is going to be my first time where I can actually sit down and talk through some of these. So you are going to get the unfiltered 8vinyllow initial thoughts and impressions to this list. So with that said, I have up on my screen the Record Store Day Black Friday list, being all techie and stuff, which I never am, so that's funny. But let's get into it. So on the Black Friday website, you can go over here. Now, for record prices, I always recommend using Bull Moose. I haven't checked to see if they added the list and prices yet, but besides the point, you can go to Record Store Day, open up this list. You can look at the PDF. In this case, we can do the web here and actually click on some of these options. So let's get into it. Record Store Day, Black Friday 2025. My initial thoughts and reactions, things that are of interest to me or just plain interesting in general. All right. So, I mean, we're kicking off with Aha. That's kind of funny. That's a bad joke. All right, let's going down here. We got some America asking Alexandria. We got some jazz for the jazz people. I know the jazz people are going to be all over this Europe 1964 box set, 4 LP to 1250. It's a first release though, but I know my jazz people are all over that. It looks like now on initial look earlier, it was almost like I noticed there were a lot of different like reissues this year of major albums, really important albums, but a lot of like reissue type stuff. Of course, it's Record Store Day, so you have to have a picture disc. There's nothing more Record Store Day than just like a random picture disc. The B-52's Wild Planet, it's a great album. Do I need a picture disc? Listen, you do you. We got some Bad Brains on here, July. Hey, that's my birthday. Look at that, live at the Bayou. I'm not going to buy you, but another bad joke. See, this is my initial reaction. But hey, that's my birthday, July 14th. They did a show in DC, live at the Bayou, 1200 or 200, 2500 Record Store Day exclusive release. You get a lot of live releases too, outtakes, unique stuff on Record Store Day. If it's a band that you really love, I'm all in for that stuff. The band Jericho, This is a big one, 2LP. I think this is their comeback. Yeah, it's their Jericho originally released in 93 is the band's comeback and reunion album, marking their first studio album since Islands 1977 and their first since reforming with Robbie Robertson in 83. This one's really interesting. It looks like it is a first release, first time on vinyl, but it is a Record Store Day exclusive colored version. So this right off the bat, it catches my eye. Am I going to pick this up? Maybe. But that's a great release, and I think that's going to be popular. James Bay, I love this album. Chaos and the Calm, it came out, this is the 10-year anniversary, which blows my mind. I think it came out my senior year of high school. This was an important artist and album to me during my senior year, and it's a really great album if you haven't listened to him. The hit songs, as you can see on here, you have Let It Go. Hold Back the River is something else. My senior year of high school, I took a music history of rock and roll class, and we had to do a presentation and report on an artist that you don't think, modern artist, that you didn't think anyone really knew about in the class. And so I did James Bay, and always just sort of had a connection with him. I saw him a few years back, actually a handful of years ago now, play at the Riviera in Chicago. And that's a remarkable album. Don't need it, but really great stuff. Hey, my Bluey people. I know some Bluey people out there. Come on, listen. You can get one of these things. Yeah. Let's see, some Benson Boone, some Bratmobile. Story of my life. Look at that. Listen. I relate to this on a spiritual level. That's all I'm going to say. So out of print 1994 EP. So that's kind of cool. We have some War, some Cage the Elephant. Hey, my Kiss people, my kissy kissies out there, some Eric Carr stuff. Wasn't this a Black Friday release from before? This is the liquid vinyl numbered edition. The liquid vinyl? Pressed on liquid vinyl for the first time and only time. You can get it 500 piece. It's a must for fans and collectors of Kiss. You can get Eric Carr's Liquid. So yeah. The 12 inchers, listen, the jokes just write themselves, you guys. The 12 inchers. I hardly knew her, but Phil Collins obviously had it all figured out with the 12 inchers. 3,500. This is part of a host of celebrations to mark 40 years of Phil Collins' spectacular third album. No jacket required. So you can see he's very serious that it's not required. This one is going to be a big one, I think. This will be popular. It's Record Store Day exclusive, so this will definitely go quickly. It's Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare, live from the Forum, June 17th, 75. That's going to be a classic, I think, for Record Store Day Black Friday this year. This is going to be a hot one. Probably, I'm not going to pick it up. I do like Alice Cooper. Don't go crazy over it, but this is going to be hot. Put out by Rhino, 2LP. That's a big one. Love Larry Coryell. Don't need to pick this up, but I do love me some Larry. Yeah, Godfather fusion. Great jazz fusion. I actually have, surprisingly, for not being well-versed in jazz in general, but even jazz fusion and stuff like that, I do have a handful of Larry Coryell's albums, and it's really good. Oh, Can You Take Me Higher and Higher? Live in San Antonio, we got some Creed, again, live albums, picture discs, outtakes, all of those things are extremely popular for Record Store Day. This year looks no different. We got some Lemon Twigs connection here with the father, Mr. Brian, and Michael, of course, of the Lemon Twigs, performed by Ronnie, the Lemon Twigs, Todd Rundgren, Mac DeMarco, Sean Lennon. It could go on and on. I love Darian, by the way. He does great work. He's still in with Al Jardine and the Pet Sounds band, but he worked with Brian Wilson for years, and he is just so unbelievably talented. So, again, probably not going to pick this up. This could be something the day of I get like weird FOMO about it, and I'm like, I'll take that, but I don't know. We got some Miles for our jazz people. See, you got a little bit of everything in here. So you have some Miles in here. You got some Devo. Let's see, keep going down here because we got some Doctor Who's, The Doors. You always have The Doors. You have, well, I don't even think we had Bowie, but you have The Doors. I'm sure we're going to have the Ramones here later on. So those are always the popular ones here. The Doors live in Copenhagen, 1968. I have in the past picked up some Doors. I don't think I need this one. I'm not like a Doors completist. Again, I do have some Record Store Day Doors releases and whatnot, but this is still a cool release. I think it'll be popular. It is an exclusive release, so if I change my mind, I'm sure I can grab that. Some Dr. Dre, some Dying Fetus, Bob Dylan. Looks like the original freewheeling Bob Dylan, including 4 tracks that were withdrawn. So some additional stuff to this very classic album. It is an exclusive release, but there are 1,300 copies of this. So if you want an original freewheeling Bob Dylan here, you're probably going to get it. Just saying. But it has the original Never Before Seen liner notes. I don't know. That's a cool release, but with 13,000, I should say, I think it was, right? Yeah. That's not going to be getting me lining up early. I'll be out there anyway. Bill Evans always has something for Record Store Day. There's another one for you Bill Evans people. Flaming Lips, Fleetwood Mac. Now, this one intrigues me. Fleetwood Mac Live 1975. It is an exclusive release. Rhino, 5,000. Another one that I think is going to be very popular. What a great time period for the band. And, I might pick it up. I love all renditions and different variations of Fleetwood Mac over the years, of course, being kind of a blues girl. And I love Peter Green, one of my favorite guitarists. The Peter Green era, I'm a little biased towards, but obviously this is the Fleetwood Mac lineup here. And so of course, Stevie Nicks, Lindsey Buckingham, Mick Fleetwood, John McVie, Christine McVie, and I'm sure this is going to sound incredible. And I do think this is going to be very popular. Some Neil Francis is in here. Moving on to the next page for the sake of time. We got Fred again and again and again, if you weren't sure. We got Ghost Note. We got Ghost. Gorilla, Good Kid. Of course, you have the Grateful Dead. Grateful Dead always throws something in there. You got a few of those. You have some Charlie Brown Christmas with a pop-up gatefold. Looks like you're going to get a pop-up scene, immediately reminds me of the Jethro Tull one of Charlie Brown, Snoopy, and the Gang. That's cute. It'll probably be a $30+ record. If it was like 20, maybe just for fun, because I do love that Jethro Tull one. I'm telling you, Martin Barr, another one of my favorite guitarists. George Harrison, those releases, any Beatles is always popular. Some John Lee Hooker for my blues people. It's funny. You guys know how much I love the blues if you watched me before. I very rarely pick up these blues-related Record Store Day releases. It's just a never-ending rabbit hole, and with all the different musical rabbit holes that I'm stuck in, I can't commit myself to that. Icona Pop. Oh yeah, this is I Don't Care. I love it. I think they opened for One Direction when I saw them back in the day, in the olden days. Jazz Sabbath, Jelly Roll, Billy Joel, live from Long Island. This one I'm probably going to grab, depending on price. It's a 3 LP. I know it's going to be pricey. $1,500 though, and an exclusive. I usually pick up these live Billy Joel releases, and I absolutely love Live from Long Island. I used to watch that concert on YouTube all the time as a kid, and so special place in my heart for this. 1982. This is going to be some really good stuff, and it looks like newly mixed from the original master tapes and produced by Billy's longtime live sound engineer. I really hope that this is not more than like a $50 record. I wouldn't be surprised if it's $60, but please don't be any more than that. That's going to be popular though too, I think. You have some Elton Johns. You have, so we could keep going, some B.B. King again, some Kesha, Marcus King. Great blues stuff in here. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard releasing their 10,000th live album. So congratulations to King Gizzard on that accomplishment. Led Zeppelin. This is the 7-inch Trampled Underfoot. That's kind of cool. It's a reproduction of the original UK 7-inch. I'm not going to pick that up, but it's cool. I know that my friend Vance is going to be all over that. Love, 5 LP Record Store Day exclusive, 2000, the Complete Electra. This is very intriguing. I'm not going to do it because I already have 2 of these. Obviously, I need the other 3, but I know it's going to be expensive. I don't need it, but if I wasn't a public school teacher and I was made of money, I would 1000% be picking that up because I think it's going to be really, really cool and important to have. I love that band. Really great band. Post Malone, you got some Bruno Mars, Curtis Mayfield in there, a little Rhino Reserve action going on. Moving to the next page, some Joni Mitchell, some Montrose. I think my buddy Richard was talking about wanting to pick this up. Of course, Sammy Hagar. I love how they put like the little dash there. This live radio session. Really great band, great album too. So Rock Candy, good stuff. So Motley Crue, Home Sweet Home. What? Listen, Motley Crue, Home Sweet Home picture disc. Sweet Home. You got some Motorhead. This is kind of cool. It's a Record Store Day exclusive live at Brixton 87. I don't remember seeing this on my first initial kind of walkthrough, so this is a cool addition. Do love me some Motorhead and Lemmy, especially after going to visit the Stone Kings in California. We went to the Rainbow Bar and Grill, and now I have sort of a soft spot. I saw the statue. I saw where they like put his ashes in the statue and things like that. He had a cigarette out of his... I mean, once you like experience that, you can't go back. And so my love for Motorhead definitely has gone up a little bit. But yeah, I need the actual like studio albums before I go into that live version. Has anyone else done that? Like when you first started collecting maybe records, or you got back into it, or you just started going to Record Store Day, that you would pick up like the most random live whatever of these bands you kind of want to get into. And then years later, you're sitting there and you realize, I have this live rare recording of this band or artist from like the basement of this dude's house in 74, but I don't have their most popular album, studio album. Over the years, especially the last few years, I started to realize that. And so I'm like, yeah, that'd be cool, but I need like actual Motorhead studio albums before I do something like that. So, just early Record Store Day attendee mistakes. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, that's going to be fun. Hey, you can get an exclusive art tee. So there you go. Limited to 800. Get your art tee now. But you can also do the live anthology. That'll be really cool. From the Vault Volume 1. Turquoise blue matches the little cover. I love that little stuff. That just makes sense. Prince, Ramones, one of those bands. I told you there was going to be a Ramones release, Record Store Day exclusive, 6,000, live at this famous CBGB 1977. This is going to be freaking awesome. I'm probably not going to pick it up, but this is going to be I might pick it up. I might pick this up. It's like, do I need another live recording of Teenage Lobotomy? No, but Sheena's a punk rocker, so we're going to do it. But I'm sure I hope the sounds great. So maybe that's probably going to be one that like I wait on and hear some reviews. And if it sounds good, might pick it up later. Let's see here. Rolling Stones, they've been doing a lot of these recently. This is the first Satanic Majesty's Request. Ooh, what is that? Oh, it's one of those little, you know what I'm talking about. Very cool. Don't need that, but love that that people can get that. Todd Rundgren, Keep Going Down, Sleigh Bells. That's kind of fun. Sun Vault Trace. Okay. Absolutely love this album, love this band, love this album. So great. I already do have a reissue of this, so I like the idea of the 30th anniversary. I like the 2 LP. I like the second disc of bonus tracks. I might pick that up. I might pick that up and get rid of my other reissue because, yeah, limited to 3,000 and exclusive. You know what? I'm probably going to end up picking that up just because I love that. Soul Coughing, that's a big one. Spinal Tap, The End Continues. Listen, if you would have asked me a year ago, 2 years ago, if I would have picked up this Spinal Tap End Continues Record Store Day exclusive vinyl, I'd probably laugh because I don't even have, let's talk about Shark Sandwich. Let's talk about long story short, but after seeing The End Continues, and we did a podcast with Trevor from Flat Round and Spun where we were talking about this. It's just one of those things where after seeing it, and especially just how recent it is, I'll probably pick it up. I'm probably going to grab this. It comes with a limited edition poster. It probably comes with the actual glove, you guys. Ringo Starr, we got, he always does this thing. Choose love, peace, and love. Everybody. Strangler, Sugar. Okay. If you guys want to know my number one pick this year, and it's no surprise if you've been watching me, but if you want to know my absolute number one pick, it is the Sugar Copper Blue singles collection. Copper Blue, Sugar, one of my favorite bands. Bob Mould is hands down a top 5, if not even less, artists of all time. I love that man with every fiber of my being, and I mean that so wholeheartedly. I love all of his work, his solo work. Husker Du, Sugar, of course, the power pop me, old 90s girl, loves Sugar. And Copper Blue has become, over the last handful of years, just an extremely important album to me. It was there for me during a weird transition in my life. I think we all have those albums where we have those personal connections and songs and stuff too. And Copper Blue is one of them. And so that album means so much to me. I mean, it could be Sugar, whatever, and I would have been all in, but Copper Blue, the singles collection. Now, it looks like it's a 4 LP, 1500. It is an exclusive release. Like, this is going to be the thing that gets me up and in line at 3 a.m., hands down. It says, focusing on fans, a collectible alternate way of revisiting Sugar's iconic 1992 album. The singles collection is presented on 4 LP. So it looks like some solo mixes, some live stuff at the Metro in Chicago. Hands down, my absolute number one pick of Record Store Day, Black Friday 2025. This is getting me up and out. Although the Bluey, that's a close second. Jesse Sykes is really cool. Talking Heads, this is pretty cool. The demos and stuff like that and live. If you're a huge Talking Heads person, I can definitely see that being something that is of interest. Some more stuff, you get into the various section. The Jazz Dispensary always does something. Metal Machine music, Powered to Consume. Inspired by Lou Reed's groundbreaking 1975. Yeah, Metal Machine music's a really unique record. I love Lou Reed, but that's one for Record Store Day. Was it last year or whenever it was, I didn't pick up. So I don't know what this is, but it looks like I'm not getting that. We go to Pump Goes Acoustic. Listen, bring me back to my roots here. Oh, come on. Some Yellow Card, man. It's bringing me back to middle school. Some Rise Against in here. Taking Back Sunday. Man. I'm like, tonight's be the night that I'll fall for you, and my hair's starting to go over. Anyway, we have Rent. That's going to be popular. A lot of kids are going to want to pick that up. I say that as if I'm not younger, but I'm not going to pick that up. Rock the Plaza, concert to save the historic Plaza Theater in Palm Springs. We got some Alice Cooper, we got some Paul Rogers, and so on. It's a no for me, but that's pretty cool. You got the Watchmen soundtrack. And it's a picture disc, so that makes it something now. Live at Wembley, 1995 Van Halen. I know that people are going to be all over that. It's an exclusive release. 6000 Rhino, always killing the game with the really cool releases, especially the live stuff. Classic bands, that's great. T-Bone Blues, I do already have this record. This is a great record, by the way. Absolutely essential if you want a kind of a starter blues collection. T-Bone Blues, T-Bone Walker, add that to it. 1959, and it looks like it's going to come with this like separate 10-inch too. Already have it, but if you want a good kind of base to start with blues and you don't know where to go, maybe I'll do a video like that one day. But yeah, T-Bone Blues is definitely one that you need in there. You can get a Wicked Cruiser turntable. Just saying. You could also get a pink one. So not only can you get a green one, but you can also get a pink one. That's cool. We got some Witch in here, some Wilco, Jeff Tweedy action. That is fun here. Record most available. First time on vinyl. Yeah, I think that's going to be, I know a couple people that would probably be something that they would want to pick up. Warren Zevon, always popular as well, especially for Record Store Day. Live at the Edmonton Folk Music Festival, 2 LP exclusive release. That'll be popular. And that is it. So, Black Friday, the record store day lists are always the Black Friday version. It's always going to be smaller because it's not the regular one. It's just that added little traditional, fun little thing that record store day does for us in November, so we can spend more money and cry. But it's not always a huge list. But just going through that, they have something for everybody. And that's what I appreciate most about Record Store Day Black Friday. You can get a turntable, you could get a t-shirt, you can get a picture disc, you could get a live this, you can get outtakes that, you can get jazz this, you can get blues that, you can get metal this. I mean, it has something for everybody. And I am all in on Record Store Day. So anyway, that is my sort of initial thoughts and reactions to this list. The Billy Joel's definitely going to be one for me. Ramones probably. But hands down, my number one pick for Record Store Day 2025 Black Friday is the Sugar Copper Blue Singles Collection. I'm all in on this. And I'll probably pick up the Sun Vault and stuff like that, and look at my bank account after and cry. But because I bet this alone is going to be expensive. This has to be $60. It's 4 LP or 4, yeah. So 1,500. This is going to be a pricey one, and it's going to be popular. So might have to throw some elbows in there, just saying, you guys. But anyway, that's it for this video. You guys know the drill. I love talking about Record Store Day and things as exciting as this is, especially in the record world. So let me know down below your thoughts on this list, what you're excited about, what you're planning on picking up, thinking about, that sort of thing. If I have to fight you over the sugar, let me know in advance so I can train properly. But with that, everybody, that is all for this video. I hope that all of you are doing well, and I will see you guys for my next video. Bye, guys.